and welcome to my channel. This is Dina and I'm back with a new tutorial to show you how I made these two books. They're actually hardcover, one covered in paper and the other one covered in fabric, and what they have in common is the fact that they both have a hidden spine, but they're not hidden so you can see them. They're even more so visible through windows. So this one I showed you before, and I'm pretty sure you have seen it in my Instagram posting. And today we will make this journal, which is, let's measure it. The length is 8 3/4 by 6, and the spine is 1.5, and as I said, that's the specific for this one, or highlighted for this one, is the see-through window, and we can see the stitching for the binding of the signatures. So let's proceed. For today's project we will need the signatures of the journal that we want to bind. I have 3 signatures. We'll need the template for the binding, which I put in between 2 sheets of very soft plastic. It's the plastic you get when you buy bedding sheets or pillows or something. I cut 2 pieces of that plastic, and I didn't put anything in between to keep them together, because if you just press them one against the other one, they kind of vacuum in between and they stay like that. This is the template that I will use to make the holes in the signatures, as well as the holes in this transparent material that will be actually the see-through hidden spine, because the book will have another spine as well, which will have a window to see through the whole thing. So I have a piece of acetate. All the dimensions I will let you know when I work with them. And I cut as well a piece of it's a designer paper, but can be any kind of paper, just to cover up the chipboard, because it is this side will be the one that you will see on the inside of the book. So we'll have this window that will see the binding stitches. Okay, another piece identical like this I had here, and I just covered up with fabric, the same that I will use for covering up the journal. So I cut out a piece of that fabric, this is the right side, and I traced already the size of the window that I will need to have in order to see the binding stitches. So in the middle of this fabric piece, I just traced where I have to have that window. Okay, and of course we will need 2 chipboard pieces that will be the covers of the journal. I have as well 2 pieces of cereal box cardboard that I cut to the dimension of the chipboard for the covers, and I'll use these to reinforce the covers and this piece of transparent material. I put a template for the stitching in between these 2 layers of the transparent material. I use 2 layers just to reinforce it. Now I will use a pokey tool to make a hole where the stitching will happen. I showed in a previous video how to make the template. If anybody will need more information on that, I will be happy to repeat it. Something else that we will need will be an awl to create the holes in the signatures. We'll need a needle and some thread. I'll use the pink one because it seems like this pink goes well with the fabric that I chose for to cover up the journal. I went ahead and I covered up this spine, like one like this, and I will tell you what's the size of it. So because the journal is 8.5, I use a spine and covers 8 3/4, and the spine will be 1.5 inches. Okay, the template, I have 3 signatures, and I wanted all 3 stitches to be visible through the window. I drew the middle line first, then I found the center point. I kept 1 inch from the ends, and then I divided in 2 each one of the remaining parts, and the same thing for all 3 of the signatures. I think we should, what I can do, I will need these to be nicely covered with a pretty paper. So I marked the top on both sides because one will be covered, and then, you know, it's pretty easy to get confused. This is why we'll go now ahead and using the glitter, the art glitter, I hope everybody is doing okay given the situation with the pandemic. We crafters, I think, could use this time of isolation in a way for our benefit, because we can craft more and be distracted from the bad news and of the big problems that the world is involved in right now. So I put the glue, and now let me put the little piece covering up like so. This is pretty well covered. Yes, and we have the top and the bottom. I put the same thing on this one, but after I covered it with the fabric, I just kept in mind that the blue flowers are at the bottom. It's not like there is a difference between the two of them. It's just to keep, you know, organized, like so. I'm using now a piece of acetate. This was a piece of acetate around the cake. So it's a soft acetate, it's thin, but we don't need here to have strength to shield anything really badly. What I'm thinking now is which side should I put down, like so. Yes, so I will show you how I did this covering of the spine with the fabric, when I will make that cut in the fabric that will cover up the journal. Now I will just put some double-sided tape all around, and I will help it with some 3-in-1 glue just to make sure it stays in place. Three-in-one I'll use only on the portions where in between or on the side of the double-sided tape. Play now with the size of the acetate piece. I chose to put it a little smaller, not a lot smaller, but shorter. So the acetate piece will be 8.5, 8 5/8, and the width of it will be 1.25. That will ensure that I can stick this one to the outside of cover. We'll proceed now with the cutting that window in the fabric. Initially, I thought I will use the craft knife, but I just decided to go with the scissors. As you can see, there is a line in the middle of the window and two lines that divides those straight corners in two. So I will have some pieces that can be flipped on the sides and down and up. For that I made a hole first in the middle, and I go just straight, and I will leave a little bit, maybe a bit less than a 1/8 of an inch uncut in that corner. I may cut it later if needed, but I want to be able to fold those pieces and avoid the fraying in the corners. So like so, we have the window cut out. But I omitted to say, and I'm sorry, not quite very organized today. I have a piece of Tyvek, that I cut out the window. This fabric is gonna be glued to the Tyvek sheet. For that, I will just put some double-sided tape again, which I have here. So will be the size of the Tyvek is the size of cover's spine, and that 1/8 of an inch between the spine and the chipboard covers. This will be the fabric. And we just lay over the Tyvek like so. Yes. Now we need double-sided tape on the inside here, and I'm using now the wider double-sided tape. Quite to the edge of the Tyvek. My double-sided tape is done. Okay, so now we'll burnish. I'm not sure how much I managed to record and how much I missed. The battery died. So all I did, it was just putting a wide double-sided tape on the transparent part of the spine that comes over the cover, the chipboard cover, and here the same thing. So now it looks like that. So we can see the signatures and the stitchings. What I'm gonna do now is I'll put these first, so to hold in place the, oh my god, I know I had two of them. You saw them, right? Where did he go? Oh, here. Here. This one that goes here. This one will go here. This will be covered, so doesn't matter if it has some stenciling and some stamping, is not gonna be seen. We have to attach this one here, and that will be again with the industrial sticky tape. Let's see. Uh-oh, it's too deep. So the width of these, because it shows up in the window, and we don't want to do that. No, that's not supposed to happen. Something I want to fix here. Seems like this one is slippery a little bit, and it tends to take away. Nah, that won't happen. Okay. offline I added corners to the journal. I added a couple of eyelets and some pattern yarn, beautiful chiffon ribbon, which now I just managed to make a knot. Not really. That's cool. And as well as I added these end papers, beautiful paper, Italian paper. I guess that's all what I did offline. Yes, I added this tag holder, name holder, and this is pretty much. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, be well, and come back soon for more. Thank you. Bye bye.